Hello everybody, this is Bill Beck from the Oarsforward website. We've been covering the so-called six-pack, which are 6 best practices for high-performance sales teams. The second in this series that we're talking about are team meetings and the importance of team meetings. Now, team meetings can be sales meetings, they can be training meetings, and there's a common approach to handling these team meetings, and then there is the best practices approach to team meetings. And we'd like to share our experiences that we've had on our sales team with the team meetings. The common approach is that they occur infrequently. So they may happen every year or twice a year where you have a formal sales meeting. People get together face to face. There's a lot of importance to doing that. However, there's also an importance for meeting even more frequently than that. Now, in the case of our team, we're all remotely based, which means that we're spread over 3 continents, really. So how do we get together as a team remotely and be able to still accomplish the goals of a team meeting? We like to think that the best frequency for team meetings is monthly, and this is what we do on our team. Usually the manager is leading these meetings in common practice. That is, the manager gets up, gives the agenda, talks about different items are going to be doing in a sales meeting, how it's going to be structured. Many times there's numbers that are talked about, pipeline is reviewed, that type of thing. There's usually a top-down agenda that comes from the sales coach or manager, or even could be higher up than that, of what they'd like to discuss during the sales meetings, with very little input from the sales team members themselves. It's usually more formal PowerPoints and graphs and charts, these types of things. So the team members are kind of forced through this particular agenda, which they didn't set themselves. What are the best practices for team meetings? Well, the best practices for team meetings are, as I said before, they occur more regularly than once or twice a year. We found monthly is a good time. The leadership is shared by all members of the team. That is, that once the hosting process has been laid out, individual team members act as rotating hosts. It's great practice and development for them to be able to do this. Those that do it say, it looks a lot easier than it normally is. At any time, we may have 18 people on a remote conference call, a web conference call. That there's technology available now to do this quite easily with WebEx. We use an Adobe product. GoToMeetings is another one. You can share whiteboard, you can share screens. It can be a great opportunity for various members of the team to incorporate and talk about different things to teach the team. The representatives and team members actually drive the agenda. What is important for them and how would they like to see things covered? We use a spreadsheet that's on the cloud that is dynamic and can be added to at any time to include topics that they'd like to see. There needs to be some structure to it so that there needs to be a timekeeper keeping track of the time so that the time doesn't get away from us. Now, I do have to say that when we do our team meetings, we started by going 60 minutes and found that just wasn't enough time, and we needed to expand that and increase that to 90 minutes to really cover all the topics that everybody found relevant by the team. So the frequency being monthly, you need to set up a meeting for the next month during this meeting while everybody is available. That way, everybody can compare their calendars and they can block out the time from their calendars. I can tell you that we don't have a lot of wiggle room when it comes to, can I miss the meeting? I'm going to be planning calls. We want to have people there for these meetings. We feel it's that important. And this includes scheduling some vacation time. If it's a very extraordinary situation, they can do that. However, there's not a lot of excused absences during our monthly web conferences, and we found this to be much more valuable. So what are the main sections of our team meeting that we have monthly? The first one is a section on the team progress to goal. That's given either by our president of our division, or I might give this as a sales coach, talking about how the division is doing overall and talking about how we've done versus last year, how we're tracking to budget. So team progress towards the goal. Its objective is to build pride with the various team members on their success and their actions. And it is done very constructively. We can also compare ourselves to other teams. This is also an opportunity to talk about how other teams are doing year to date and gives people a nice glimpse of how the company is doing. We also have best practices, a section on best practices by individual team members. If we have a team member that's been very successful with something, we would like that to be shared to the other team members. Many times the things that are working in one territory work very well in other territories too, and this is a great learning experience. In addition, that team member feels good that they are encouraging and teaching their other folks, the other folks on the team, how they have accomplished this activity. We also have questions from the field as it relates to challenges. There's always going to be challenges during the month that the team has experienced. Individual territory managers might find different challenges, and with everybody's input and points of view, you're allowed to come up with some very interesting solutions to the challenges that are experienced in the team. So there needs to be a section in there on challenges that are being experienced. Also a developmental topic. This could be sales skills, it can be computer skills, it can be presentation skills, it can be a new demonstration that we do. We're in the food ingredient business, so we work on various new types of demonstrations, and we have done this and shared these demos virtually while we're tasting it, even though we're across so many miles and there's so many miles separating us. The final topic is really about recognition. We call these shout outs, and these are opportunities to recognize team members for helping other team members, helping customers, helping each other go through things as a accomplishment of goals, and find this to be a very excellent part of our team meeting. It's amazing the types of recognition that's given. People feel good that they're recognized, and we don't always get a chance to do that, particularly when we're remotely based. So this is an opportunity to really recognize the various folks on our team. So our shout outs are an important part, and we never miss them when we're having our sales team meetings. I hope that you found these tips to be helpful for you. I hope that you'll have regular sales meetings, remotely based sales meetings that are virtual, I think you'll find that it really improves the communication. If you'd like more information on this, please check out our website, Oarsforward, for more information. Also, check out our podcast because there's further information that I've listed in the podcast. And if you're interested, look at the ebook and be happy to send you a copy of that. So until next time, I wish you good coaching and good selling.